Hi, Pat Miller here, Gabby Gourmet. My favorite day of the week is Stir Crazy in the Kitchen Day. Every Monday, Chef Ben at Roth Living with that fabulous kitchen, but the more fabulous chef puts together something, I guess I could just say fabulous. And if
I don't
we're
know.
using the same word, I'll use it to describe Lynn Thielen, who is my pal who's down there. And all of a sudden, I love chicken, but I think chicken is one of the hardest things to make.
And it's that because it's so difficult to make sure that you cook it to the proper degree of doneness, or just make it interesting?
Both. I think
Both.
chicken tends, if you get it to where the temperature actually says it's
Right.
dry.
Mhm.
Ask Ben how he feels about that.
No, we don't want to start that. I might get a lawsuit going. So,
Right.
Well, I'm very distrustful of the packages that come on the outsides of chicken and telling you to cook chicken to 180 degrees
Right, I
internal
just think it's
temperature, and
stupid.
you,
I've
you,
never
you might
made
as well
it
just
to,
mic.
okay,
Yeah.
I've never made it to 165 unless it's overdone.
Yeah, I go 155 in the
Me
breast, and
too.
I find that is perfect for me.
Well, you and I will be sued together.
So,
And yes, it is an interesting. So,
and this preparation, it does make it difficult in the sense that you are cooking half chicken, so you've got the breast and you've got the wing, the leg, thigh, quarter as well. But I've always found that when I get to 155 in the thickest part of the chicken breast, or in the
it's
turkey
done.
breast, whatever, it really is done. And I really don't have any issues with the leg and the thigh cooking a little bit. If they go a little bit more than that, it's perfect. So I don't know.
Okay,
Lynn
well,
has heard me
sure.
rant and rave about that, so I will.
Well, I was
Right.
doing it and I didn't even know. So there.
That
That was not pre-rehearsed, guys.
That's right. So
That
this
was
is
just me.
so this is a fun dish to make. It gives a little flavor. It kind of incorporates some interesting ingredients into the chicken preparation. So we'll start by just talking a little bit how we fabricated the whole chicken. You can save a lot of money as a cook, as a chef, as your finance manager in your home when you're buying food, by buying whole chickens as opposed to buying stuff that's already cut up. Obviously, the benefit of getting a whole chicken is that you also get the byproducts. So you get the bones, the wings, all those pieces that are great for making your own homemade chicken broth, all of those great things. So in this case, that's what I've done. I've bought a whole chicken. And what I did was I just basically cut it into 2 half sections, so that the entire breast, as you see here, with the wing, the first joint of the wing still attached. And then you've got the leg and the thigh also still attached. I've got the leg is intact. I've left the thigh bone in, but you can see that I've just got a nice half piece of chicken. It's really a nice piece of poultry to eat. So it's really, it's nice in that respect too. It's very compact. It cooks nicely. Obviously left the skin on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small paring knife here. I'm just going to make a few holes in the chicken flesh, just kind of poke it a little bit, here and there. There's no real rhyme or reason to this. You just want to give a chance for some of the marinade that we're going to put it in to penetrate a little bit. That's really what this is all about. So just give it a few holes like that. Then what I want you to do is get a big bowl, a nice large stainless steel bowl. Take your 2 halves of the chicken, put it in. Now you can do this the night before. You can do it, maybe 2 or 3 hours in advance. Either way is going to be fine for the marinade. We'll do a little bit of stop motion, and you'll see what that all means. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take about 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on the chickens, and I'm just going to sort of flip it and massage it until you can't see the salt anymore in the bowl, right? You should see all the salt should be dissolved nicely, all right? So you can't see it any longer, and just leave them in there like that. So let's
Hey,
just
Chef.
go ahead. Yes.
Quick question. So is that, again, with the knowledge base I have, is it like a spatchcock chicken that you just actually
Yeah.
cut all the way through?
Yep, there's no backbone, no breastbone left at
Okay.
all. That entire center mass
Is-
of the chicken, if you will, is removed.
Okay.
Right, that's completely gone. So no ribs, no breastbone, no backbone,
And
none of that.
I call that spatchcock.
Okay.
When
So we're on the
he-
same page.
What he just did is that's what I call it. So
Okay.
So now, so we're going to take it now. We're going to give a little more flavor, but we're going to really direct the garlic flavor in this. So we've got about 5 cloves of peeled garlic here. First thing I want you to do is take the flat side of your knife, right, and just smash it. You know, just don't be shy, right? You know the old saying, right, Gabby, that cooking is like love. It's to be entered into with abandon or not at all, right? So just go for it. Just
so go
smash.
and kill the guy you're making love to.
Smash
They just
those
have
garlic
sides.
cloves down. 'Cause
Now
you
they're
guys,
gonna make up.
so now you've got this
Right.
little pile of smashed garlic. What I want you to do is take just a pinch more kosher salt and sprinkle it right onto the garlic. And then just use your knife to just turn this into a puree, right? So all I'm doing is just taking my knife and drawing it backwards across the garlic. So it smashes all the cells of the garlic down, mixes it with the salt. And remember that the more you process your garlic, the more you chop it, slice it, dice it, mince it, puree it, the stronger that flavor is going to get. So if you don't like the flavor of garlic, then don't do this. Just slice it, you know, do something a little less aggressive. But in this case, I want my garlic flavor to be really pronounced. So now I have essentially a nice salty garlic puree that I'm going to slide into the bowl with the chickens. And I'm just going to take that and I'm going to massage them a little bit with the garlic. There we go. So now we'll just get it nicely coated with the garlic. So the garlic's in there. All right. That's step 2 of the marinade. Now the rest of it's really easy, right? Anybody can do this next part. Super easy. Oh, wait, there's a little extra garlic on my knife.
First part wasn't too hard.
Nah, that's not too hard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the ingredients for our marinade. We've got some sherry wine vinegar. Now, if you can't find sherry wine vinegar, just use red wine vinegar. That's going to be perfectly fine. You can substitute that without any trouble whatsoever. But sherry wine is a little sweeter, not quite as acidic. You might want to avoid balsamic, however, that may be too
Yeah.
sweet, right? So you don't want to do that because we're going to add some freshly squeezed orange juice. Now we've got a little bit of honey that we're going to add in there as well. Not as much honey as vinegar or orange juice. Last thing, we've got some extra virgin olive oil. And then last but not least, we've got some paprika. Now you can choose what type of paprika you'd like to add. If you like your dish a little spicier, add some spicy paprika. If you like it a little milder, a little sweeter, just add a plain paprika, just a mild, a sweet paprika. Or if you want to get a little more exotic, get some of the smoked Spanish paprika, you can add that as well. So any of those will work just fine. We're going to use about half as much paprika as we are the cumin, right? So that fresh ground cumin that we've got here, we're going to stir that in. Remember, you obviously don't need to add any salt because we've got all that nice salt onto the chickens themselves already. So we've got that seasoning on it. All right. So just mix that together. It's not going to have to be emulsified. You don't need to use blenders or whatever. The worst thing you're going to have to use is a whisk maybe, just to make sure there's no clumps of spice in there. And then got your marinade all done. Take your chickens. You're going to pour that over the top. All right, there we go. So there we go. Got our chickens in there. And you know, it's nice to have these gloves. I can just kind of massage them again, give them a little trip through the marinade. All right. Now, ideally, what you want to do is let this marinate at least 2 hours, but you could go as long as overnight, but no longer than that. We're going to suspend time here for a second so I can show you.
In the refrigerator, room temperature.
Oh yeah, in the refrigerator. I definitely want to chill your chicken.
Okay, just checking.
No, don't. That's a good question, Gabby. That's a good question. All right, so then I've got a roasting pan here that I want to cook in. It's got nice high sides on it. So here's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to take some dried apricots, right? Just
Ooh,
right
I
out of
love
the
Me too.
package. You want some dried apricots. And then I've got I've got some green and black pitted olives, right? So get something nice. I've got some Kalamata olives. I've got some, I forget the name of these green olives, but they're really good. They're nice and meaty and they have a nice bite to them. It's nice not to put the pits in them, although you certainly could.
Yeah.
But you know, save your guests or your teeth a little
Yeah.
worry there by not putting that in. So I want to just kind of put that mix in the bottom. I got on the bottom of my roasting pan, I've got my olives and I've got my apricots. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we've fast
So
forwarded.
far, there's no oil or anything in the pot.
No oil or anything. We're going to fast forward. We've got our chickens that have been marinated. We're going to lay those in there, skin side up.
I'm getting
Right.
very hungry.
Right? We're just going to put
Oh.
that in. Right? We've got our nice chickens ready to go. Just going to lay that out. Now we're going to take the rest of our marinade. We're just going to pour it over the back, over the top. Don't want to
You
waste
Said
any
skin
of
side up.
Skin
Yes.
side is up. That's right, Lynn. Skin side is up.
And please don't take the skin off. It has such good flavor.
Oh yeah. Well, you wait till you see it when it comes out, right?
Yeah.
So now, if you have a temperature probe for your oven, just use it. Set your probe to 155. If not, use your instant read thermometer. You're definitely going to want to take the temperature of the chicken just below the wing in the very, very thick part of the breast, right? Just in there, about halfway through. That's where you're going to want to get it to 155. And I'll tell you right now, if you get it to 155 at that spot, the rest of the chicken's going to be cooked. So let me put this in the oven and I will do the magic of kind of like
Television.
TV.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that sounds so good.
So we're going to take,
It makes it look so easy.
Yeah, but you'll get dinner. I won't. I need to-
so here's the one that's
Oh,
coming
is
out.
it?
This one is done, right? So I can give you a little close-up shot. You can see it's nice and done. But here's what we're going to do next, all right? So
We're not
what we're
done.
gonna, no, we got to do one more step. So these are done, but we got one more thing we're going to do, right?
I could eat it just like that in the pan.
And you would if you were here, right? So
Yes, I would, and I'd like some. Happy birthday.
so what do we have?
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to serve this with? You can serve it with a lot of things. I'm going to serve it on a bed of steamed couscous, right? I've just taken some couscous and I've just steamed it with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So it's very plain, a little bit of salt, right? But it just gives, it's a flavor sponge, right? Whatever goes on it, that's what it's going to taste like. All right, so we've got our couscous. We're going to spread that out on our tray. And then got our chickens right here.
Oh, be careful.
Skin is nice and crispy. Want to make sure I leave some of my, there we go. There's one half.
That's mine.
Take all the olives. I love olives.
Right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pan here, right? And I'm going to put the contents into a little saucepan and I'm just going to heat up my big pan, right, that I roasted it in.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of water in there. Just a little bit.
It's gonna deglaze the pan.
I'm going to kind of deglaze it. Going to take a
Don't
wooden
burn your.
spoon. No, that's okay. Just want to get all that love off the bottom of my pan. Heat up my sauce just a little bit. So the nice thing is, this just kind of concentrates it. If your juices have reduced a little bit in the roasting process, you might need to loosen them up a little bit by adding a little bit more water, just so it's not too concentrated. But other than that, we just want to kind of just get all that good caramelized flavor off the bottom of our roasting pan. And once that's happened, we're just going to pour that into our little saucepan.
That's the leftover sauce in the saucepan.
That's right. That was just the stuff that was around it with all the, has all the
Right.
marinade, but it also has the apricots and the different olives in there. So now, and you could reduce it a little bit if you wanted to. You don't have to, but you want to just make sure that it gets nice and hot, and then we're just going to spoon it.
Ooh.
Oh, isn't that perfect?
Yeah.
I was hungry before, now I'm starving.
You know, I wasn't hungry before.
I
And
was.
now,
No,
and
me.
now I'm hungry again.
So
Well,
there we go. We've got
Oh, that's
juices
gorgeous.
running down into our couscous, so
Yeah.
that'll give a couscous a little more flavor. And then just one last, we got some fresh parsley leaves. We just want to kind of
You
scatter
make it
around.
all look so pretty.
I know.
Well, you know, I mean,
Well, you eat with your eyes before you eat.
I just think this kind of looks appetizing, you know. I just think it just
Oh,
nothing
it's
fancy. It doesn't. I'm not reconstructing the chicken out of its parts into something new, but I just want to make something that looks like you want to eat it. So
I want to
there we
eat
go.
it.
I know.
There we go.
Check.
So you got a beautiful chicken dish. Those kind of fun flavors for the winter. You know, dark, rich flavors. I think will be really nicely on a cold night. So maybe you'll wait for the snow to come back later this week and
It's coming
together
Wednesday.
and-
This is
Is
Monday.
it?
and have a nice winter's meal. So
It's fantastic. Chef, one quick question is I'm about to say goodbye.
yes,
Have you used cauliflower rice at all?
I have.
Because you
So-
buy that frozen and I
Uh-huh.
think it's delicious.
Yep. But just as long as you don't make it into mush, I think you're fine.
Oh,
So
someday you can teach us how to do it.
all right, someday we'll do cauliflower rice. Sounds like a good
With
plan.
something, okay.
With something, yeah, and something more than just cauliflower.
Well,
That's right.
this is fabulous. This is Honey Cumin Roasted Chicken with apricots and olives. And please support us by clicking like and subscribe. StirCrazyInTheKitchen.com. Watch new shows every Monday. And you can see us on YouTube. You can see us on Facebook, Instagram. And just go to StirCrazyInTheKitchen.com. The recipe will be there. Oh, I so want that. Ben,
I know.
Right?
if you weren't married, I'd have to propose.
Yeah, I'm too old for you, Gabby.
I know, but I'll go for an older man. And Lynn is you're too young, so there.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoy this. I just wish I was right there right now. Have a great week.
Right.
Love you all.
Thanks,
Stay
Gabby.
healthy.
Bye, Gab.